And now, welcoming one of the coolest people that I know, Trenton Chandler.
You can applaud at this part. No, I'm not from Utah, but with my extended family, having lived here and having roots in different sectors of the state, I've been consistently present here for years. Every summer, I would spend a full month, and sometimes more, in the Wasatch Front. In those years growing up, one thing that would surprise me was the sometimes very visible air contamination, mainly from wildfires. In my home state, that wasn't even close to a problem, but darkened skies and smog have consistently become worse here. In the past few years that I've been living full-time in this wonderful state, I've only come to see the problem even more. Looking past just contamination by wildfires, the overall contamination has become very noticeable. For the first time in my life, I'm considering buying a membership to a car wash, just so I can wash off the dust and grime that the air builds up. And I'm not even going off-roading and hitting crazy jumps in my 2010 Honda Civic. It's just sitting in a parking lot most of the month. That's the part where you laugh. Utah ranks as the 5th worst state in the US for air pollution. As a state that prides itself on its national and state parks and variety of natural wonders, this is a big problem. How can there be such a dichotomy between the beautiful mountains and forests and the terrible air quality from the valleys directly adjacent? It's not just about beauty though. The air directly influences the quality of life and the health of all Utah residents. According to studies, it's been found that air pollution has already decreased life expectancy in Utah by years. In fact, as of this talk, Utah County currently is rated as unhealthy for sensitive groups in terms of the air quality index. That's just the normal air quality if we leave our house. That's what our getting some fresh air looks like today. So, what's really happening here? What's causing all of this contamination? The factor that we're probably most familiar with is related to carbon emissions. Ozone at ground level mixes with pollutants under hot temperatures and forms smog. Recently increased gas production has produced enough ozone that even during wintertime, Utah exceeds set health standards. Another reason for the bad air quality are the increasing numbers of wildfires raging through the state. This is the factor that's most noticeable when it occurs. We've all seen during and after recent fires the smog that it produces. It covers the entire valley and leads to a large number of negative health conditions. Utah is one of the most fire-prone states in America, and the smoke from one fire can drastically spike the level of pollutants in the area for weeks and even months. For the same reasons that Utah is very susceptible to wildfires, the droughts that have been frequent in recent years also dry lakes and increase the airborne dust pollution that wouldn't have been caused if the lakes had more water. What can we do about these problems? Utah's population is growing, and fast. We're the fastest growing state in the US. Woo! Yeah, and it's not viable to try to decrease the population growth in order to cut pollution. Laugh. The Healthy Environment Alliance of Utah works to solve this issue, but the efforts are futile if they're not widely able to influence change. Utah has been implementing more public transportation in the last few years, like the Front Runner train, UTX buses, or the TRAX rail lines in Salt Lake County. Many people use these forms of transportation, but a wider adoption as daily transportation will have a big impact in the reduction of ozone-formed smog. Greater safety also is needed in order to prevent forest fires. 90% of wildfires are started by humans from campfires, fireworks, and smoking. These are preventable, and the reduced contaminants created from a better handling of fire would severely help the quality of our air. To help with airborne dust, we need to conserve more water in our lakes and rivers and find better irrigation techniques. Any way that we can use less water will help with our air and our health. in conclusion, this is an issue that really impacts our Utah lives on a daily and lifespan level. And it's essential that something changes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Woo!